I'm going to welcome you all to the biggest party of the summer, and probably even a musical one, as it takes place in Nashville, and for a reason. We're gonna rock. And we kick off SummerSlam with Logan Paul taking The Miz, accompanied by his wife Maryse and his protege Ciampa. This feud came right after The Miz betrayed Logan Paul on WrestleMania this year. And there is nothing to complain about. Logan Paul at least surprised everyone here. Just look at the things he pulled off in this match. A beautiful moonsault from the apron. A running power slam. He applied the figure 4. Then there also was a crossbody from the top rope followed by a standing moonsault. Nothing but incredible. Tremendous. Ciampa tried to attack Paul and got ejected. Refused to leave, and then AJ Styles helped him with that by beating the hell out of him. And as symbolical as it is, Logan Paul immediately hit the phenomenal forearm. And all of those moments were just a taste, as Logan Paul also performed a gigantic frog splash to the commentary table. And in the ending, The Miz tried to strike Logan Paul with his plastic cart, where he nearly hit Maryse, and for a sweet revenge, Logan Paul caught The Miz with the skull crusher for the victory. Unexpectedly. What an awesome match. At least Logan Paul is a legitimate fighter, and along his size, he is a force to be reckoned with. Between the matches, we got an embarrassing Pure Life water commercial from Maximum Male Models. Just look at Mensua. Theory comes out in style, making selfies all the way through the arena, with all the confidence in the world, to face Bobby Lashley for the United States title in a Money in the Bank rematch. When Lashley was standing on the apron before the match, Theory attacked him from behind with the briefcase, and in the match beginning he dominated for a little time. But nonetheless, Bobby Lashley got his momentum and started to dominate Theory. Slammed him around, and he lifted him up in the air and took him into the Hurt Lock, where Theory tapped out. Their Money in the Bank match was much more intriguing and competitive, whereas this match was just mediocre. Here comes the Judgment Day, and here come the Mysterious for a war in a no disqualification tag team match. Looking ahead, no DQ rules were used very poorly. The match was just speedy and athletic. But at least culmination of the match was great, where Mysterious were running for 619 and got viciously annihilated by Rhea Ripley. The Judgment Day asked Ripley for a chair to kill Rey Mysterio. This is where devilish monster has been unleashed in form of Edge, who made his epic return by smashing both Balor and Priest with spears. And the Mysterious hit 619 with Rey's botched splash to pin Balor. After stabbing Edge in the back, the Judgment Day signed the Raw death warrant. But now that he's back, it's going to be even worse for them. To understand what powers does Edge have, I will give you an example. Rhea Ripley attacks and destroys Dominic Mysterio easily, but when she sees Edge, she is scared to death. You can see it on her face. Next match is Baron or King or Poor or Happy Corbin taking on Pat McAfee, where Corbin received an ultimate humiliation by the entire chorus, singing Damas Corbin loudly. And then Pat McAfee didn't come out with 7 Nation Army, but with nonetheless funny song. There is not much worth talking about the match. It's just slow Corbin with a poor moveset against a guy who wrestles 1 or 2 times a year. But at least those color commentators Corey Graves and Michael Cole and the heat between Corbin and McAfee were driving this match emotionally. But McAfee was fired up during the entire match, and he countered the End of Days, punched him in the mouth what took out the referee, and punted a sweet low blow followed by a second rope cold red to pin Corbin, to beat Corbin and get the win to celebrate with a toast of beer after the match. Happy Corbin was really happy man for WrestleMania, calling himself undefeated by barely wrestling some matches. But then he lost to McIntyre, lost to Madcap Moss 3 times in a row, and now lost to a guy whose main job is being a commentator. Next, between the matches, there was Drew McIntyre came out to praise Nashville, remind everyone he's the #1 contender for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Clash at the Castle, and discuss the upcoming main event between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the first time ever. For the first time ever in Nashville. For the first time ever in Nashville in Nissan Stadium. For the first time ever in Nashville in Nissan Stadium in front of Colt. After a couple of controversial match finishes between Profits and the Usos, they face each other again for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. This time with Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee. To point out quickly, Jeff Jarrett proved that he was unbiased in this match by dragging out both Jimmy Uso and Angelo Dawkins right in the beginning. It wasn't as big, as intense or as long as on Money in the Bank, but all moves were performed very accurately, very masterfully. Jeff Jarrett was as good as it gets, and that's why he didn't get knocked out in this match. Jey Uso kicked out after Dawkins' spinebuster and forced splash. The Usos took out Montez Ford and won the match after 1D by pinning Angelo Dawkins. Hats off to the Usos. But regarding the Street Profits, I think they're done as a tag team. That interest is gone. Montez Ford looks like a real star and has gone far away from Dawkins. They are absolutely not on the same level as they were 3 years ago. And because of that, he desperately needs a heel turn. And in the best case scenario, it had to happen right after this SummerSlam match. But it didn't. Let's see what's next. Then Riddle proceeded to the ring to the crowd and said that he is not medically cleared, but he desperately wants to get his hands on Seth freaking Rollins. And that's why he called him out, to which Rollins rushed to the ring and laid Riddle out with a simple stomp. The mayor of Knox County, Tennessee and WWE legend Kane appeared in the ring to announce SummerSlam's attendance, and it's 48,449. Thank you. And for that matter, he exploded the ring with fire. Why not? We've come to the main event, which is Brock Lesnar vs Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in a last man standing match. And for that matter, for the first time ever in a last man standing match. And it promises to be a slobber knocker, no doubt. Roman Reigns wasted almost 10 minutes walking out to the ring and asking everyone to acknowledge him. Brock Lesnar made his entrance on a giant tractor to intimidate Roman Reigns. And when the right moment came, Brock jumped on him right from the tractor and he beat the hell out of him and treated him like a defenseless child while doing so. The only thing that helped Roman to survive and give some answers was Paul Heyman distracting Brock. But nonetheless, Roman Reigns was getting a ton of punishment and of course was able to get back up to his feet on the count of 9 many times. Then Lesnar decided to take out the trash on a tractor, suplex him many times, gave him an F5 with a 40, and the tribal chief still got back up on 9. Roman tried his guillotine and quickly paid for it, as Brock put him to sleep with his own guillotine. But Reigns still survived before the count of 10. And there the highlight of the match came. Lesnar flipping the ring with his tractor and Roman fell down from up high. And right after that you can call it the key part of the match, the culmination. The Usos attacked Brock and the Beast quickly kicked their asses. Paul Heyman received an F5 onto the table for his troubles. Reigns speared Lesnar. Both were out of energy and Fury ran down to the ring for a cash-in attempt. But how do you cash in when there is no ring anymore? I tell how. You don't, because you get an F5 from the Beast. Thereafter, Brock Lesnar got back up after things like Usos super kick, spear, Money in the Bank briefcase strikes, WWE title belt strike, and finally he took Universal Championship belt strike and burial under armchairs, commentary tables, and all the garbage those three could find to keep this monster down for the 10 count. It's the greatest last man standing match in history. I can't remember a carnage or chaos this big, even from Attitude Era. And next opponent for Reigns is Drew McIntyre, who's waiting for him in his kingdom of Great Britain. He has never defeated Roman Reigns, but lost to him many times. And this time he is maybe even the favorite. Giant arena, qualitative matches. The main event butchery made this SummerSlam better than it's ever been. But because there were no title changes and quite a few matches, I give it 8.5 stars. And if there's anything left to say, I'm gonna say thank you and good night. See you later. John Moxley.